Don't get us started. It could get a bit teary. Don't get us started.
We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it because look, club legend gets banded around too often in football these days. Oh, this player's the greatest of all time, or this player's a club legend, this player's the best player I've ever seen. All these, all these really good things, but they get banded around too often. In the end, they sort of start to mean less and less. This is a club legend. This is somebody that when he arrived, Paul Cook said, I believe, if I'm remembering right, it won't happen too many times with Sam Morsy in the side. And he was bang on the money. A lot of things haven't happened because Sam Morsy's been in the side and his play's been at a high level consistently and constantly. The only time you can ever really say as a Town fan where you thought about Sam Morsy's play was last year in the Premier League, the most elite level of football. And every player goes through that at the Premier League level. The best go through it, and those that are new to it go through it. And he was brand new to that division. He's never let us down. It's a big shock to me, Matt. What about you? And what about the chat at home? Let us know your thoughts on this one. Sam Morsy, possibly, I'll still say possibly because I'm thinking on a little bit, but possibly leaving a football club.
Yeah. Well, we discussed it Sunday, didn't we, on the members show that we said, we've always felt we was in the twilight era now of Sam Morsy's career at Ipswich. We knew this was coming, didn't we?
We did.
And we did say we could be in the twilight days. And so it has proved because he's obviously flown out to meet with the representatives of Kuwait Sporting Club, Kuwait SC. They're going to offer him a fantastic monetary package in the twilight of his career. And he came to us as pretty much a journeyman, really. If you think he'd been at Port Vale, Chesterfield, Middlesbrough, Wigan. And to think that he went dropped down from Middlesbrough to come to us in League One to go on the huge journey with him at the helm with McKenna as the captain to take us into the Premier League. I think he done fantastic. And I think he done fantastic in the Premier League up to about November, December, when I think probably it caught up with him a little bit. It was asking a lot in it to go from League One, where you're kind of verging on journeyman territory, to suddenly captaining Ipswich Town. And everyone was so surprised that we'd even made it to the Premier League. Sam Morsy included, most probably. And I think he done great. And look, we know we didn't have a very good 2025. January right through to the end of the season was a real struggle, wasn't it? We don't even win a home game, do we? No. The only home game we won was against the World Club champions, everyone. Does that make us World Club champions by default?
By default.
Yeah, couldn't beat us, could they? Over 2 games. So he will go. Look, we're all gutted he's going to go. Absolutely gutting. Like you were when Matt Holland left mine. Wouldn't come out of your bedroom.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was absolutely gutted.
We're kind of, as now grown adults, we're kind of in that space, aren't we, at the moment? But he'll go with our best wishes, great memories, club legend, back-to-back promotions. We said Sunday member show. Only really Matt Holland probably comes close to someone who got us promoted at Wembley, captained us into Europe, took us to the San Siro. Luke Chambers was a real good club man, but he was in that horrible Marcus Evans era. Jason DeVos was a great captain for us, but we were, in the Royal era, but treading water really. Couldn't quite get into the Premier League, could we? Matty Holland and Morsy in the last 20 years have actually done stuff that resonate and have a lasting impact in the DNA of the club. And he'll go with our best wishes. I mean, it's a great move for him. I think they play in the Asia Champions League. So he'll be playing in that tournament or a variation of it. I don't know if they have like their version of Europa League and all that kind of thing, but certainly he's going to be playing in kind of cross-continent stuff. So, I mean, fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. STST says nobody in their right mind would turn down a massive pay rise. Respect to Morsy, top player, not quite Matt Holland, but close. Whereas Mike Baker's sort of at the other end of it, where he says, not a legend for me, good, reliable player, excellent skipper, but for me, he doesn't make the legends list. Well, yeah, I think he does. I mean, it depends. Everyone's got a different
harsh criteria there, mine. Mike's got really harsh criteria.
I think everyone's got a different legends list because I can't put, I go by what I've seen, right? Now you can say, this player was really good. Didn't see him. Yeah. I'll take your word for it. But everyone's got a different criteria for how their legends lists are put together. Because I'm of a certain age, you're of a certain age, Mike will be of a certain age, Adi will be of a certain age. There's all different ages and people who have seen all different types of players.
Exactly. It's different contexts, isn't it? I mean, if you're like Mike Woods, Colin, Mike, maybe if you've seen us lifting 78 Cup at Wembley, you've gone over to Amsterdam to see us win the 81 UEFA Cup. Then that's kind of different gravy, isn't it? A little bit. We can only really go on what is the modern era, probably 2000 through to where we are now, and the club was treading water, did nothing until you had Matty Holland. That was the first book ended by Matty Holland and Morsy. pretty much that era.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's all you can go on. It's almost like when you put anytime on social media, you put the words "Who's the greatest of all time?" You're going to get 1,000,001 different.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a
Because
different opinion.
everyone
That's what makes the debate interesting, doesn't it?
absolutely. And some people have seen, some players play like Maradona, Pele, etc. Whereas some have seen Ronaldo, Messi, and it comes what you've seen. And I think context is absolutely key with all of it. For me, he's a club legend. He's consistently had a high play. And when people have left in the past, as you just sort of said there, good club men, good captains, great people, but there's always been, particularly, in recent years, in the last 20 years, 25 years supporting Town, when they've left, it's been, oh yeah, great this, but was he as good of a player, etc. With Morsy, and I know a couple of years with League One level, but he's always played at a consistently high level. Stepped down from Middlesbrough, that mustn't be forgotten. Came down to the project that was Ipswich Town, when it was a young project, when you had to sell it to players. Still come down to League One level. We're not going to be here long. This is the vision. He made that commitment to it, bought into it, and obviously it was a roller coaster for him in the sense of, say roller coaster. It didn't go down at all. Which is a stratosphere, rocket ship to the moon. But look, yeah, absolutely love and respect Sam Morsy. And more importantly, I still felt it was a role for him to play. That's what makes it even more shocking for me. We spoke about, on Sunday's show, the members one, about the new midfield evolution and different players being linked. And we'll get to one of them a bit later on in the show. But Sam Morsy still felt like he had such a huge role. And in an expectation year, Matt, with the pressure that will come with being one of the bookies' favourites, I honestly felt that, that calming influence, that voice, that consistency of this is how we do it, this is the quality, this is the benchmark, this is what we do, the voice in the dressing room, the voice from the manager's room, when he goes in for a chat with McKenna and comes out and he speaks to his teammates, all those different things that captains do behind the scenes that you don't see because it's not in front of that camera, that would be vitally important. And obviously we've got other leaders, I'm not saying that, but I still felt there's a role for him to play at this football club, and that's what makes it more shocking for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But, we're looking at it through the fans' lens, aren't we? I mean, if you take it from Morsy's lens, you've got Matasiwa's come in, one other's going to come in into this midfield. And that probably mean that Sam's playing time was broken down to cameos from the bench. And when you are in the twilight, I think, of your career, and you do get an offer to go and play in the Middle East and earn, great financial stability for your family, maybe generational. Who knows what kind of package it might be? Who knows? We can only dream. But it makes sense. But as fans, we'd love for him to have stayed. As we said Sunday, we'd love for him to get the Magilton style tour around the sold out stadium and give him the farewell. But doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? Sadly, but we've got the memories. They can't be taken from us.
They can't. But that is another thing. The send off. You feel like you've been robbed a little bit of showing that love and appreciation that we've all got for him. And I think whether you think he's a legend or just been a good player, whatever you may think in terms of the legend status, we all love every single player that's been with us for the last 4 years because they've given us everything and delivered so many different memories that we'll take forward for the rest of our lives and never forget. That you want to, like Massimo's send off. He barely played last year, but he got that send off because we all love every single, even when we had players leaving the past, Marcus Harness, you had that little bit of it's very sad. It's part of that memory when Ladapo left, etc. Not quite to this level, of course, because this is Sam Morsy, but you still had that, and you can't give him a send off, and that's what makes it a little bit.
Yeah, I agree that. I mean, I'm just talking there has made me think. I can't remember what game it was, but he did like a 2-footed tackle, real blood and guts tackle on the edge of our penalty box against maybe a Southampton or someone, one of those real must-win games. Maybe it was the Port Vale game. They all blur into one. But in those promotion runs, but I remember jumping off my seat and cheering like he'd scored. It meant that much, it was a proper 100% committed tackle, and I think that probably embodies what he's given us as a club captain. I see AD saying, "Who do we think the captain's going to be?" Well, I think that's the fact that O'Shea signed a 5-year deal.
It's going to be O'Shea.
Shows that this has been rumbling for a while, I think, because we've seen what O'Shea's been like. Teams get promoted, they get relegated, he goes back into the Premier League, West Brom, Burnley, us. I'm sure that was maybe mooted by his agent as well, but maybe this has been rumbling a while, and it was nailed on that he would be captain should Morsy leave.
Okay, don't forget we are partnered with the East Anglian Air Ambulance. If you want to help save lives and have the chance to win £1,000 every week, play the East Anglian Air Ambulance lottery. By playing from just £1 each week, you are helping to keep their yellow helicopters flying. The East Anglian Air Ambulance lottery creates 18 winners every week, with prizes ranging from £50 to £1,000. Over 18s only. T&Cs apply. And please, whatever you do, as I always say, gamble responsibly.